Brazil's economy is walking a tightrope. On the surface, things appear promising. The nation's real GDP has grown steadily in recent years. Domestic consumption, agricultural output, and pro-cyclical fiscal policy have all played a part. However, this growth masks underlying vulnerabilities. Low savings and investment rates threaten long-term sustainability. Fiscal uncertainty looms large, casting a shadow over future prospects. The International Monetary Fund paints a concerning picture. They project that Brazil's gross government debt will balloon to a staggering 95% of GDP by 2027, up from 85% in 2023. This alarming trend is primarily driven by persistent high fiscal deficits. These deficits represent a fundamental imbalance in the nation's finances. If left unaddressed, they threaten to push Brazil into a full-blown fiscal crisis within the next few years. Adding fuel to the fire are court-ordered debt payments, a ticking time bomb for Brazil's fiscal health. These payments represent a significant and urgent challenge, set to reach critical mass by 2027. In December 2023 alone, the government shelled out 92.4 billion reais to prevent further debt accumulation. The 2025 budget earmarks a hefty 102.7 billion reais for these payments. Alarmingly, 44.1 billion reais of this falls outside established fiscal rules due to a temporary Supreme Court decision expiring in 2026. Projections for 2027 are even more concerning. Estimates from Warren Rena suggest these payments could reach a staggering 116.3 billion reais. Internal government data and independent market estimates corroborate this upward trend, painting a bleak picture of escalating financial pressure. Experts are sounding the alarm, emphasizing the urgent need for decisive action to avert disaster. Felipe Salto of Warren advocates for transitional rules or an extension of the Supreme Court decision to provide breathing room. Jefferson Bittencourt of ASA echoes this sentiment, highlighting the escalating threat posed by rising court-ordered payments. Elida Gracian of FGV suggests that the Supreme Court will likely extend the deadline, or the government will be forced to revise its entire fiscal framework from 2026 onwards. Meanwhile, Sergio Vela of MB Associados proposes a more proactive approach. He recommends integrating these payments into the budget framework and making the necessary, albeit painful, fiscal adjustments. The Brazilian government is not standing idly by. Both the Finance and Planning Ministries, alongside the Attorney General's office, are actively working to mitigate the impact of these looming payments. Initiatives like Pacifica aim to reach settlements before court rulings, tackling the issue of predatory litigation head-on. Additionally, the newly formed Council for Monitoring and Managing Fiscal Judicial Risks is dedicated to finding long-term solutions. However, the clock is ticking. The average 8-year wait for court-ordered payments underscores the need for decisive and lasting solutions. The next administration, taking office in 2027, will inherit a ticking time bomb. Major fiscal adjustments will be paramount from day one to prevent a repeat of the devastating 2015 economic crisis. The time for half measures is over. Bold action is needed to steer Brazil away from the precipice of fiscal collapse.